Hello and welcome to Business as Unusual. I hope that you and your family are all well. My name is Megan from Greater London Properties. For the people that are tuning in fresh today, just to give you a little bit of introduction, these are our daily live chats that we're doing at 11:30 every weekday, just mainly to connect local central London residents to our companies, organisations, charities and different movements that are going on. And just giving them a platform to expose it a little bit more. Today we've got a very special guest, Oli Coles from Hospitality for Heroes, who's doing a really inspirational movement. Hi, Oli.
Hiya, Megan. How you doing?
Yes, good, thank you. Now, Hospitality for Heroes, for those people that don't know, they launched a campaign a few weeks ago. It's a non-profit initiative from founders within the industry, and they help to feed our frontline NHS workers. Now, the best thing is as well, there's also healthy quality meals cooked by skilled chefs. Just to top it off, they also use fresh produce from local suppliers, and it's all thanks to donations. So really helping out with the community as well as the frontline staff, which is really good. Now, at the end of our chat, we are going to be telling you where you can donate, as well as how you can get your friends involved. So please do tune in and stay on board in order to hear where you can donate and the rest. So, Oli, thank you so much for joining us here today. It's really great to have you on.
My pleasure.
It's a really original and inspirational movement that you're doing at the moment. What made you want to start the organisation?
So before the sort of COVID-19 crisis, I had a digital marketing agency, and many of our clients were in the hospitality sector. So almost overnight, they sort of paused their retainers with us and asked us what they should probably do next. And the obvious answer would have been to go into doing deliveries to the local community. And that really just got us thinking, how can we do this on a much larger scale, and also try and solve a much bigger problem? It was as the news was talking all about nurses being leaving their shifts late and returning to supermarkets that are scarce of food. So this idea was really, to try and bring together a group of really talented chefs at restaurants, and rather than just giving back to their current customers, to actually feed the NHS. So, and as you mentioned in the intro, at the same time, we're then helping keep the suppliers in business. So all of our donations go specifically to that, and that's purchasing fresh produce from them. So it's sort of the idea evolved, and then the next sort of problem or question or challenge was going to be, how do we actually get awareness about this? We're not Damien Lewis or Matt Lucas doing these big campaigns in 100 grand. So using our digital experience from Oli Coles, we started an Instagram challenge, which asked smaller independent chefs initially to share a 1-minute recipe and then nominate 3 other chefs to do the same. And that's since gone on to get over 120,000 views. And we've had some pretty decent chefs, like Adam Handling and Marcus Waring, contribute to this campaign. So that's helped us raise just over £30,000 in 3 weeks. That's
amazing. So I bet the nurses are just so grateful as well, because I remember seeing one of those videos where the nurse was just in tears because she just couldn't find anything. So it's really inspiring. How many deliveries are you doing at the moment, do you find?
So it's ramped up quite quickly. In the first week, we did a few hundred. Last week we did 3,000, and this week we're doing over 8,000 deliveries to 11 NHS hospitals. And yeah, indeed, certainly the nurses and doctors, the feedback we're getting from them on social media has been sort of inspiring and motivating us to really keep going and to try and keep fundraising going. And indeed, some of the charities that we're working with, the NHS charities, again, are coming back saying that this is fast becoming the highlight of some of the workers' week, just because of the quality of food we're getting. So, 8,000 dishes this week, and then hopefully ramping that up next week.
That's so good. That's so good, because I've seen some of the pictures actually, and the food looks amazing. These chefs are pulling out some real showstoppers, I can tell you. taste it through the screen.
Yeah, they are. They're getting very creative. We've had some generous donations from suppliers, including meat and vegetables. So at the beginning of each week, they take a look at what we've got and what we bought for them through donations, and then they just get super creative. And yeah, they're delivering restaurant quality meals. So I think it's been quite well received, and we're looking to kind of retain that standard.
Yeah.
We want to be seen as the people who are providing really healthy, good quality food.
Yeah, I think it makes all the difference. Something really to look forward to. How many kitchens do you currently have at the moment, and where are they?
Yeah, we've got 9 kitchens working with us at the moment. So some of the chefs that we've got are sort of top chefs, including Sally Abe. She's head chef at Harwood Arm, which is a Michelin-starred pub. We've got her husband, Matt, who works at restaurant Gordon Ramsay. And then we've got, they're actually working out of a kitchen in Earl's Court together. They're providing food for us, but also to the homeless and the elderly. We have Carousel Restaurants. They're based in Marylebone. They've got a team of volunteers, including their head chefs, Oli Templeton and Matt Tuttiett. We have the Lighterman up in King's Cross, close to one of their offices, yeah. And then we've got a kitchen in Hackney called Karma Cans. They're churning out close to 1,000 dishes a day for us. And then N5 in Islington, and Rose Ashby, who's the head chef of Spring at Somerset House. I think that's all of them at the moment. But what we're seeing through Instagram is quite a few chefs and restaurants, not just in London, but across the country, saying, look, we would love to help out with this cause. So again, if funds can increase, then we'd like to sort of branch out of London, where I'm sure there's possibly an even bigger need for healthy meals. But yeah, we've been overwhelmed by the sort of chefs and restaurants that have come forward to volunteer their time.
Oh, that's absolutely fantastic. It's great that you've got such good chefs working alongside you as well, and some really great spaces. How did you launch? How did you start off?
Yeah, so we launched with this Instagram campaign. A friend of ours, of Oli Coles', a guy called Alex Head, who's a sort of bit of a food blogger and a very good cook. She owns a small restaurant and catering company called Social Pantry. So she launched the campaign, introducing the initiative. And of course, at that point, we had raised £0, and we had no idea really how far it was going to go. And at that point, I remember thinking, I'll be happy if next week we can provide 300 or 500 meals to the NHS. She launched it, and through Instagram, she was the first post, and she nominated 3 friends. And then they went on to nominate 3 friends, and it escalated to people with, hundreds of thousands of followers, including top chefs, and some celebrities, and also just the general public at home. So anyone who's watching, if you fancy a challenge, please take a look at our Instagram channel, which is @Hospitality for Heroes, and we'd love to see anyone else pick it up. The more we can spread, it's our biggest sort of form of awareness. So yeah, it's gone well. We've had quite a bit of PR as well, which has been helpful. But that's all really been picked up off the back of the Instagram challenge.
That's great. I'm already trying to rack my brain to try and think of a recipe that I can share to get my friends involved. So yeah, I'm thinking of the great chefs that I know in my life in order to nominate them, just to get a variety on there as well. So yeah, it's really great. What advice would you give to others that feel inspired to do the same as you?
I think a lot of, with this, it's been very much about moving as quickly as possible. This idea sort of came to my head before lockdown, and really at the point of fear of lockdown and the fear of restaurant closures. So we had to move really quickly. There are quite a lot of logistics involved, including getting into the NHS charities, because it's not a case, unfortunately, of just making food at home and being able to deliver it to hospitals and say, I'd like to donate this. They're now not allowing that to happen. So I think it's about, as with sort of any business or initiative, I guess, is about planning and planning with this situation quite quickly, and also just getting some awesome people around you with complementary skills who can actually make it happen, be it the logistics company or someone who can help with fundraising, the right public influencers. But yeah, I think planning and moving quickly believing in yourself, hoping for the best.
That's brilliant. And do you, so obviously you can't just donate the food now to the NHS, like you said, is that because of they don't know how it's been prepared and social distancing and PPE equipment, etc.? So how are your chefs doing it? Are they all kind of social distancing, and what are you following?
Yeah, exactly. So within the kitchens, we're using some pretty big kitchens, and they're having social distance. So because the restaurants are closed, they've moved all the tables aside, and they're doing much of the prep work where you or I would usually sit and eat our meal. And then we've got to provide people with the right PPE equipment and kit. And then the same again with the logistics and delivery companies. And then obviously a lot more cleaning within the restaurants. So NHS require that meals are individually wrapped, that they are delivered at a certain time. In the early days of this crisis, a lot of people were just turning up with 20 pizzas and dropping them at reception. And I think at that point there was actually a lot of food going to waste. So hospitals now have set up a rota, and they've come to initiatives like us and others out there to sort of say, look, can you deliver us 300 meals at 6 p.m. every weekday? So we have our sort of given slots, and they know that it's come from a commercial kitchen with a hygiene rating, and that the food has been sourced from the right places.
And what hospitals are you providing for at the moment, just to give a list?
Off the top of my head, we're doing Hammersmith Hospital, Charing Cross, St Mary's Paddington, Royal London, Whipps Cross, Homerton Hospital, UCLH, and I know I'm missing 5 others, so I can't remember off the top of my head, but they're the ones. Chelsea and Westminster is another.
That's so good. They're just reaching out to so many. If it ends up blowing up even more and reaching out to more, which I'm sure that it will, I just know that so many NHS workers are going to be so grateful for it. I want to taste one, but I don't deserve one. I'm not on the front. So I'm just gonna have a look at the recipes and try and do something at home, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Should be great. So are you cooking at home at the moment? Are you trying to take inspiration? Are you a little...
Yeah, I got asked this yesterday by the Telegraph. I should be, but there are 2 minor problems. One, I can't really cook. My wife is a fantastic cook. And 2, this initiative is taking up sort of a lot of hours of my day. But I do occasionally get the time to look through some of the videos that have been submitted. But I have to be honest, no, I'm not spending a lot of time in the kitchen.
And was it just yourself? So I saw on the website that there's founders of like a few other companies as well. So did you know these people before?
Yeah. So I've sort of brought those people together. They're people that are either clients or friends of mine, and they are sort of entrepreneurs, I guess, who've started their own businesses. And like I said, they sort of all have complementary skills. So we've got a guy who's very good at sort of in the charity space. We've got a good social media person. We've got a very technical guy who makes sure that all of the payments and the security is all secure. And then a good friend of mine called Amelia Wicks came forward and said, look, I've got free time. I'd like to help out with this. So, and she's sort of very high up and experienced in partnerships and fundraising. So yeah, a lot of people have come forward, and not just the guys on the website, but also people getting in touch with restaurants that are working with us saying, I'd love to come and just help out and clean dishes and do whatever I can, chop vegetables. And I think on sort of any one day, there are probably a total of about 50 people working on this initiative in the kitchens, in deliveries, and behind the scenes. So it's been phenomenal, the number of people that have come forward to offer their time, and none of us are making a penny from it, but hopefully making a bit of a difference for those NHS workers.
Yeah, I think it's just overwhelming how much everyone wants to help each other at the moment. Yeah. But it's also great how you've got all of those fantastic people that surround you. That's why I always say it's a rule of 10. Surround yourself by 10 great people. So yeah, it's really good. Thank you so much for joining us today. Just to reiterate, guys, on the they've got a website where you can donate. If you go to hospitalityforheroes.com, it's very clear on the website where you can donate. You can read a little bit more about the initiative itself. And also, let's get involved on Instagram. Let's get our friends involved. Instagram is at Hospitality for Heroes. There's instructions on the website on how you can do this. So it's basically how you create a recipe. Well, you share a recipe, you can create one. It's just under a minute. Share it, nominate, donate, get the movement going. Just because we want as many donations as possible to help this keep going, because our NHS staff, they need this right now, and it's like Oli said, it's something that they look forward to. So it'd be great for us all to support it. Thank you again so much, Oli, for joining us on here.
Yeah, thank you so much, Megan, for asking me to come on.
It's been so wonderful speaking to you and hearing about it. It's really inspiring, and it's such an original idea. It's fantastic. It's what everybody needs at the moment. So thank you again. Yes, so yeah, don't forget to visit the website, donate, and get involved. Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.